Greetings and welcome to the 2010 O'Brien Awards Highlight Reel. I'm Kelly Spencer from the Tarmac Show.
And I'm Daryl MacArthur from the Paddock Report here at Grand River Raceway.
And that's where we are right now, shooting some footage for our Highlight Reel exclusive. It is a harness racing take on the 70s game show phenomenon, Match Game.
We're also going to showcase some of the highlights from the 2010 harness racing season. And to help us along, we have three of the nominees of tonight's O'Brien Awards.
All right, so kick back, relax, enjoy this review of 2010 and a friendly or not so friendly round of Match Game.
Best of luck to all our contestants.
Get ready to match the stars as we play the star-studded Big Money Match Game 11. Casie Coleman, Rick Zeron, Scott Zeron, and Daryl MacArthur. And now, here's the host of Match Game 11, Kelly Spencer.
All right, welcome to Match Game 11. We have our esteemed panel joining us today. Rick Zeron, Scott Zeron, Casie Coleman, and our very own auxiliary player, Daryl MacArthur. So let's get started. Everybody ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Our first question. The first time I was nominated for an O'Brien Award, I almost blank. Of course, all of our players today playing for a very special O'Brien Award, the 70s Joe. The top point earner will take that lovely home. So they'll write down their answers and then we will see one by one. If they match our auxiliary player, Daryl MacArthur, then they will take home a point. And at the end of the game, highest point earner will take home the 70s Joe. We're going to start with Rick Zeron. Mr. Zeron, the elder of the Zerons. The first time I was nominated for an O'Brien Award, I almost...
I was actually living in Montreal the first time I was nominated. So it was, I think it was the first year of all of the O'Brien Awards. And
on that note, it'd be interesting to see what your son says. Scott Zeron, your first O'Brien Award nomination of many, heart attack. The first time I was nominated for an O'Brien Award, I almost had a heart attack. You're very young for a heart attack.
yes, I know. That's why it's weird.
All right. And finally, Casie Coleman, you've had a lot of O'Brien Award nominations, but your very first one, the first time I was nominated for an O'Brien Award, I almost pooped my pants. Okay. A lot of sincerity here today in this game. Daryl MacArthur, how did you answer? The first time I was nominated for an O'Brien Award, I almost...
Kelly, unfortunately, I have not nearly soiled as many pairs of pants as Casie has.
Yes.
But on this point, I do concur. I made a poopy.
Ah, there you go. Pooped your pants is the winner. That means Casie Coleman goes into the next round with 1 point. Very good answers from both of the Zerons, but Casie Coleman is the winner of this round. All right, first time I was nominated for an O'Brien Award, I almost pooped my pants. We'll be back after this segment.
Several racing participants celebrated major milestones and memorable moments in 2010. In their nearly simultaneous rise to fame, Scott Zeron and Doug McNair both arrived at 1,000 driving wins before year's end. O'Brien Award nominee Scott Zeron marked the occasion on December 4th at Flamborough aboard Spirit in Her Eyes. In just his fourth season of racing, the 21-year-old Oakville resident was the nation's top dash-winning reinsman, and he became just the fourth driver in history to reach 1,000 wins before the age of 22. McNair's moment came 10 days later at Western Fair Raceway. The historical significance of his feat generated plenty of mainstream media attention as the 20-year-old teamster became the youngest driver in the history of the sport to mark such a milestone. Simon Allard also reached his 1,000th win during Ontario Sire Stakes action at Grand River Raceway in September. Rideau Carlton top dog John McMillan collared his 1,000th training win. Gord Brown marked 3,000 winning steers on April 20th at Kawartha Downs aboard Amazon Art. And Trevor Henry put in an all-time Canadian record-setting performance on September 24th when he piloted 7 consecutive winners at Grand River Raceway. The feat was last accomplished by Callie Rankin at Flamborough in 1993. O'Brien Award nominee Rick Zeron notched his 7,000th driving win at the start of the season, while Paul McKenzie joined the elite club at Flamborough in December. And finally, Dave Wall not only surpassed 7,000 wins in 2010, he also rounded out his 29th consecutive million-plus driving season.
Are we ready, panelists? I could win blank, I would drive a victory lap around the track on a tricycle, dressed in a gorilla suit. And we're going to start with Rick Zeron. Mr. Zeron, if I could win blank, I would drive a victory lap around the track on a tricycle, dressed in a gorilla suit. For all I know, you may have done this already.
Not the gorilla suit.
Right, okay.
But of all the races that I've ever been involved or ever would like to win or would just be a thrill to be in,
Yes.
would have to be the Hamiltonian.
Okay.
And if I won, I'd drive around the bicycle in the nude. I'll tell you that right now.
That is a promise, right?
That's true.
That is a promise.
If I win the Hamiltonian, I'll drive around the track in a tricycle in the nude.
In the nude, all right. Because the gorilla suit isn't really your thing.
No.
No, but
Maybe Randy would wear the gorilla suit.
maybe.
Randy would wear the gorilla suit.
Maybe he would.
Yeah.
Randy would only need to win a coin toss, I think, actually. Scotty Zeron, you need to catch up here, Scotty.
I know.
Yeah.
I think this is the
you're
winning
lagging?
one. This is the winning one.
Okay, and your answer is, if I could win blank, I would drive a victory lap around the track on a tricycle dressed in a gorilla suit. And your answer?
It would have to be the North American Cup. Ever since I was a young kid, I always wanted it.
All right. Would you do it nude?
I would definitely do it.
You would definitely do it
Richest
nude.
rings, 1.5 mil. Damn right I would.
Casie Coleman, what say you? If you
Little
could
brown
win
jug.
blank, the little brown jug.
It's the only race she hasn't won.
Yes.
The only one I really want to win that.
You would drive a victory lap around the track on a tricycle dressed in a gorilla suit. It gets very hot in Delaware, so.
Very hot, yeah. It's going to be, I'm not going to do the whole naked thing, but I'll do the gorilla suit on
Okay.
the tricycle.
Okay, all right. Fair enough. All right, so we got the Hambo, the NA Cup, and the little brown jug. Darryl MacArthur, what do you think?
This just in, all points bulletin. Be on the lookout for a naked man on a tricycle in New Jersey.
The Hambo! All right, Rick Zeron. That takes us to a tie then.
Yes.
And still looking for young Scotty to catch up. Don't get sour yet, Scotty. We got a long way to go. Lots of time for you to catch up. All right. See you back here for the next round.
Georgian Downs hosted the championships of the inaugural Extreme Racing Series presented by Standardbred Canada in cooperation with the Ontario Harness Horse Association, Flamborough, Grand River, Kawartha, and Western Fair. Earlier in the year, Georgian also showcased the 3rd annual Upper Canada Cup, which was won by Holloway for trainer Dave Maneri and owner Larry Maneri. The Maneris also took this year's Grand River Raceway signature race, the $300,000 Battle of Waterloo, with Prodigal Sealster. The win granted O'Brien Award nominee Randy Waples his 4th stakes victory. In what was a breakout year for the young guns, Eric Cash Hanover captured the 34th edition of the Confederation Cup for father-son duo Doug and Greg McNair. And O'Brien Award nominee Scott Zeron steered Part Shark to a new track record of 151 in the 51st Gold Cup and Saucer at the Red Shores at the CBP. Anderlecht was a 17-1 winner in the 29th edition of the Des Smith at Rideau, and Krakatoa took the 9th annual Dream of Glory Trot at Hanover Raceway. Clinton Raceway's 29th annual Charity Drivers Challenge went to returning champ Mark McDonald, while Priceless Edition set a new track record of 153 with Scott Zeron in the Ray McLean Memorial Race. Zeron wrapped up his stellar season representing Canada in international competition in France, where he finished 2nd in a field of 14 of the world's most esteemed reinsmen. He also ate a lot of crepes, climbed the Eiffel Tower, and dodged traffic in the Arc de Triomphe. Back in Canada and to the east, P.H. Bestman won the 42nd edition of the Governor's Plate at Red Shores at Summerside Raceway and a new track record of 153-1. In Truro, Meridian Magic scored her 25th consecutive win during the Atlantic Breeders' Crown 3-year-old filly final, and River Cane, the largest standardbred in Nova Scotia, held off runner Nick Wood in a much-anticipated man versus horse showdown. To the west, Northlands hosted the Battle of Alberta Superfinals, and Fraser Downs featured 4 BC Breeders' Stake finals. Finally, in Ontario, Ostinato became the 3rd champ of the Slots Cup Series final at Hiawatha Horse Park. Qualifying legs and, of course, showgirls were featured at 6 participating tracks leading up to the final.